like play, it became another thing, banditry. And the thing that started targeting the Christians alone now has made everybody a target, a possible victim of their very senseless attacks. Farmers are unable to access their farms because of the fear of being brutally murdered by the terrorists. This has led to food scarcity in our nation and the rise in the cost of food items all over the country. Everything just turning worse and worse. The business environment is no longer conducive, and businesses are relocating out of Nigeria to Ghana and other neighboring countries. Today we have unemployment, which has contributed to the easy recruitment of our youths by the bandits and terrorists, and we are doing as if nothing is wrong. Because of the unemployment of the young people amidst us educated, those that cannot continue to wait by faith until something better happens, they have become cyber criminals. You have Yahoo boys, etc., etc. The Business Insider Africa says that 70 million people in Nigeria are living in extreme poverty. And this is rated as the highest in Africa. And I think if it is the highest in Africa, it is the highest in the world. How can the richest country in Africa also have such number of the poor? I will speak more on this later, if time permits me, on enforcing social and economic rights for Nigerians. The pathway to a great nation and a prosperous nation is not far-fetched if we can seriously and sincerely, beyond ethnic cleavage, agree to do the needful by fundamentally setting aside the present constitution to have something better. For what we have today is foundational problem. This foundation started with decree number 24, which we are calling the Constitution of Nigeria 1999 Constitution as amended. How can a decree be our constitution? A democracy is not formed in that way. The people that constituted the Constituent Assembly, we can call it that name, by that time, was gathered together by the military head of state. They were not representatives of the people, but the representatives of the military head of state. So the foundation had been wrong. And the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what shall the righteous do? This is where we are. The problem of dualism is also in our constitution. Nigeria is said to be a secular state, but we don't know whether it is a secular state or a religious state. It is a secular state with a constitution that is partly common democratic and partly religious. And the problem there, which is causing tension, is that we are also a plural society in terms of ethnicity and religion. Our constitution only captured the legal system of only one religion out of the rest. And this has always continued to generate tension because of those that were not captured. If it only captured the legal system of one religion without funding it, it would have been better. But our commonwealth is being made to service the legal system of that religion to the exclusion of others. We need to really sit down. If we want to do pilgrimage together, there must be sincerity, there must be justice. And when we are talking of a secular state, I need to point it out again that a secular state is not an irreligious state or anti-religious state. No. Rather, it is a state that recognizes that there are many religions in a society, and the best policy for peace and stability is for the government not to interfere or intervene in religion in any manner, so that the accusation of patronizing one religion more than the others might not arise. That is a good model to build a resilient democracy. But in Nigeria, we set that aside. The foregoing, therefore, calls for either the removal of Sharia clauses completely from the Constitution so that it can be secular, or we have to factor in the legal system of other religious organizations, both Christianity and African traditional religion, into our Constitution. But if you should ask me again, I will say let religion be a private thing, not a public thing that the government will be funding. Today, Nigeria by military fiat, because of this problem, have been taken to belong to some Islamic organizations, and we are funding them. And to add to this injury, the president recently, while we are saying there is no money to fund the university system, by executive fiat, donated $1 million to Afghanistan, an Islamic country that came into existence through the barrel of gun, by violence of gun, to overthrow a legitimate government. The question to ask by a reasonable, logical person is that, is the president promoting violent overthrow of government, legitimate government, by supporting Afghanistan? Yeah, the people of Afghanistan, they are worthy of being supported, but that government does not want it, because it didn't come in through a democratic means and should not be encouraged in any way at all. Lack of true federalism, as the Obong attack has already said, is a major problem that is troubling our nation. But those that are benefiting from it are vehement that it should continue. We need to be very, very sensitive to the feelings of others. No region can go alone, can do it alone. But we can better do it together if there is mutual respect for one another's opinion, if there is justice, and if there is fair play. Without this, in a society where we are, a plural society with about 500 ethnic nationalities, then what we end it for us is to your tent, O Israel. So we need rebranding. If you don't want the word restructuring, we need rebranding. Companies rebrand, organizations rebrand, in order to fit in to the modern society. When mobile phones came, the one all of us love to use was Nokia. But Nokia felt that they would dominate the market forever and ever, to infinity. But others came. We started seeing Samsung and all these Android phones. Later we saw iPhone. And people moved away just like that. Today, Nokia has been sold out to other companies because they fail to rebrand. If Nigeria fails to rebrand, Nigeria will cease to exist. It's a matter of time. Because in this modern society, no set of people or region in Nigeria wants to play the second field. But if we will not allow people to go away, people may go away by force. Because you cannot force me to belong to where I don't have anything at stake. This is what we are saying, that all of us, we need one another. Let there be inclusion for every region in Nigeria. This is the way for us to move forward. And I have advocated for a homegrown democracy. The democracy that is practiced in the United Kingdom is a bit different from the one that is practiced in US. US is homogeneous. UK is not homogeneous because it has about 3 ethnic groups. We have the Welsh, we have the Scottish, and we have the English. All these have to be factored into their system. That's why they do referendum from time to time, whether they still want to continue to stay together or not. But here, we have refused. We don't want to listen to referendum. If you don't listen democratically, people will use other means to go away, because you cannot continue to tie people down to poverty and underdevelopment forever and ever. We need to reposition. I also advocate electoral reform if we want to move forward. Thank God the National Assembly did a reform recently. But that reform was not comprehensive enough. For example, the way we appoint the electoral officers has to change. The people managing our elections should not be appointee of any politician. There should be an independent, non-political body that is choosing the electoral managers for us, so that they can serve us, not serving the person that has appointed them. Electoral offenders must also be brought to book, so that people will not just be taking us for granted and be manipulating the wish of the people and announcing the people that didn't win are the people that won the election. Electoral offenders must be allowed to face the music as expected. Before I close, I also advocate for social and economic rights to be enforced in our constitution. For us to improve human development, we need to make huge investment in health, in education, and social security of Nigerians. The health sector of Nigeria is in shambles, and other infrastructures. Our leaders are traveling abroad to access better medical facilities instead of making it available. The Academic Staff Union of Universities have been on strike for the past 3 months, and they have now extended it for another 3 months. Who are we killing? We are killing the future educated, well-informed leader of tomorrow. We are creating a vacuum that will make the future more disastrous for the nation if something is not done. Equally, I also want to say that to unlock the potential of social and economic rights, we should allow the court to be able to intervene. When those elected are not doing it, we should have the right to sue them, and the court should be able to act in favor of the people and compel governors, presidents to put certain basic amenities in position within a limited period of time. so that Nigerians might be proud of the country to which they belong. Beloved, let me also say that the election of political officers should not just be by simple majority, especially the position of the president. The position of the president will rotate to the seat the political so come right now. That will not make us off anybody, and that will not make any region to think that they must lead and others must follow because of the simple advantage of population. No, Nigeria is a complexity. The democracy cannot be hook, line, sinker, Western democracy just like that. As the chairman of this committee has said in his introductory remark, if we want to continue together, we need to look at our context and let our context determine the way we are doing things. Because you cannot continue to do things wrong and expect people to keep quiet. So to make Nigeria work, presidency must rotate. And let me, as I'm closing, let me use the situation of Christian Association of Nigeria. You will discover that any time we wanted to do elections at the north, embarrassing the body of Christ. When I took over, I said, no, we are not going to do this again. We have 5 blocks in camp. All the churches in Nigeria captured in 5 blocks. And what we are going to do is that we are going to amend our constitution. That will give recognition to each block to produce president by term. But the constitution will also highlight the basic things that the incoming president from that block is going to have. There will be an electoral college that will screen that individual, whether he has met all the criteria or not. And if he has not met it, we throw it back to that block to give us a better person. And by the grace of God, I will soon rotate out from that office, but I'm assuring you, you will not hear any noise because of change of leadership. Because I already know the president is going to succeed me. The block has been solved, and they are come as one body with one person who will represent it. Why can't Nigeria do that? And talk all the embarrassment. 100 million just like chicken. Everybody going for one position. They knew at the issue that only one person will get that. Why the great gamble, unreasonable gamble? Did God speak to all of them to come and lead us? I wonder if we are going to move forward, we need to address that area of our constitution. And finally, those in our leadership, before they get there, through our electoral process, we must do background check for them. Background check is very important. We don't, some people are not only criminals, they are lunatics. They are sick in the head. The way they behave, the way they embezzle, you will know that these people are not normal. They are sick. They are really sick. They are really sick. Before I became the president of Nigerian Baptist Convention, I passed through there. In terms of all the processes, I wrote 2 exams with my wife to know whether I am competent and my wife is competent. My wife was not going to be appointed, but my wife went through exam because by virtue of her position, she would be representing convention somehow and be a public figure. She must not be a disgrace. So we went through that exam. We also went through family test exam where they examined whether we understood ourselves as husband and wife. If you don't understand yourself, you can't understand the nation. And you can't understand the church you want to serve. After passing that exam, I went through another exam on church history and church doctrine alone. After that, I faced 11-man national panel who did thorough interview for me and also tested me on computer competency. After that, now I went to another level. That was comprehensive medical checkup. Will you be able to cope with the office, the responsibilities of this office? At the time I wanted to give up because the tests were more than the body I carried. Finally, but when I got to office, I understood better why they took that pay. We are too careless in the choice of leaders. We should do the background check and put right people in position. Thank you very much.